commissions.
Her financial advisory business was tanking. You know, the amount of money that she was managing was evaporating very quickly, and she was losing money. She sunk a lot of money into her sporting goods business. And so she reached a point where, according to investigators, that she was in dire financial straits, but still living a very posh lifestyle.
A lifestyle that includes that personal $500,000 annual lease for a skybox at the Dallas Cowboys Stadium. Bennett falls behind on the rent. Making matters worse, Bennett's online high-end retail business is a flop.
DJBennett.com was losing millions of dollars year after year. In 2012, the business lost over $1.4 million. In 2013, it did even worse. And then by 2015, it was losing over $6.5 million annually.
Strapped for cash and under mounting pressure, Bennett begins actively luring investors in her DJ Bennett luxury sporting goods business, using a business plan that promises high profits. Many are clients who hired her as their financial advisor.
I had no issues with Dawn, no reason to distrust her. I've been with her since 1995.
After a relationship of 20 years, Carl is intrigued when Bennett offers him an investment opportunity in her retail venture, DJBennett.com. According to the information she shows him, the company is thriving.
She told me how she was doing more business in the DJBennett.com than she was on the Bennett Group Financial Services. And there was a majority of the business was from China.
It's the same pitch that she makes to her other investors.
She tells them, listen, this is a great investment, just like I would invest your retirement funds or life savings into something else through the relationship that we already have. But instead of, putting into outside stocks or, some other investment, you could put it into my company and I will guarantee you a return.
Bennett asks investors to buy convertible and promissory notes, loans for which he guarantees an unbelievable rate of interest.
So Ms. Bennett would promise them 15% annual returns and also the opportunity to either withdraw the money at any time or to convert the debt into equity and actual ownership in this company that Ms. Bennett claimed was exceeding all expectations.
For some, the offer at first sounds a bit too good to be true.
There was one period of time where I specifically asked her, Dawn, are you Madoffing me right now? I said, how can you tell me that it's a 15% return? I said, how is this legal? And she's told me that this is my money, this is the company's money. I can give you whatever return I want to on the money.
Bennett supplies investors with financial statements that show a flourishing company.
According to the financial statements that Dawn Bennett was providing to her investors, DJBennett.com was making money hand over fist, year after year. On top of that, the projected revenues that were in these financial statements were just through the roof.
Carl transfers everything he has with Bennett Group Financial Services and invests it all in DJ Bennett.
I was the largest investor. I made 5-6 different investments.
Many of her investors find Bennett incredibly convincing. In emails later used against Bennett in court, one client declines her offer because he needs the funds to care for his bedridden wife. But Bennett will not take no for an answer and eventually wears him down.
He let her know about his wife's condition and about their financial circumstances and his wife's predicament, and that he couldn't tolerate any risk. And even knowing that, Bennett still took the entirety of his life savings, I think almost $850,000, to invest in her failing business in DJBennett.com.
There were examples of Dawn Bennett being remarkably aggressive, especially when she was directing that effort at less sophisticated investors
On one occasion, she physically drove the victim to the bank in order to have that victim wire out money. There's surveillance footage from the bank where Miss Bennett is right there at the teller stand with the victim.
As Bennett concentrates her efforts on her retail business, her advisory firm remains under scrutiny. In September 2015, the SEC announces charges that from at least 2009 to 2011, Bennett and Bennett Group Financial Services woefully misled the public. Bennett had claimed to have between $1.1 and $2 billion under management at her firm. But when investigators start to dig, they can't find she ever had more than $407 million. According to SEC filings, those fabrications were submitted to Barron's and ultimately